Hello and welcome to the latest of my inside tracks. Today I'm going to explore the exact conjunction between Mercury, the planet of communication, and Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, which occurs in the sign of Capricorn on February the 10th at 5:15 p.m. Universal Central Time. What does this mean? What's the implications for us? What's the story behind Mercury's journey through the sign of Capricorn, which has included a pre-shadow, a retrograde and a post-shadow period, and Pluto, which has been in Capricorn since 2008, but is preparing to move in March on the 23rd into the sign of Aquarius, which Mercury alights to on Saturday the 11th. I think this is an important culmination event, not just for Mercury's recent journey, but to help us to understand in terms of our thinking, Mercury, what Pluto has meant during that long 15-year journey through the powerful cardinal sign of Capricorn. Now, if you're a returning viewer to my channel, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new here, it's great to have you with us. Please comment. I interact with all comments. This is very much a community. And please like and subscribe too. So let's just first of all think about what the energy of Capricorn represents. It's governed by Saturn, and it's asking us to work in a very systematic, disciplined, sustained way towards our goals and ambitions. It can be very much to do with big business, big government, but the orthodoxy, the way things have been approached over a long period of time. So those rather substantive institutions are very much coming under the astral microscope. Now Mercury, of course, governs two zodiac signs. Through Gemini, it's quick-witted and it's airy, and it's brilliant for everyday communication. It can pivot and flex in the flash of a piece of light, whereas its rulership of Virgo is very much more precise, meticulous, discriminating, is looking for marginal gains and wants to achieve a degree of purity. So Mercury in Capricorn is very businesslike, but on the 6th of December 2022, as it moved into the sign of Capricorn, closely with Venus, this brought a Capricorn energy towards the back of the year, very much to the fore, which of course was manifested even more by the winter solstice and the arrival of the sun in Capricorn. But Pluto's been here a long time, and I feel it has had an incredibly powerful influence. I feel that materialism, ownership, commodities have become very important to a lot of people. So the fact that both Mercury and Pluto are preparing to move into the humanitarian sign of Aquarius, still ruled by Saturn, but of course Saturn is the only domiciliary ruler of the sign of Capricorn, whereas it's the co-regent of the sign of Aquarius, along with the revolutionary, innovative and spark of Uranus. So exciting things are about to come. Mercury moves on Saturday the 11th, Pluto on March the 23rd into Aquarius, even though it is just for those 11 weeks and it is only up to 22 minutes. So as they come together, I think there is going to be a lot of scrutiny, a lot of discussion about big business, big institutions. Now Mercury is about how we think as much as how we speak and express our ideas, and it could mean that for some of us we are going to have an important meeting, an important connection, or an important idea that could be very much about our status, Capricorn, How we link with the wider world, the 10th house, again, very Capricornian. How people perceive us in terms of our public role. Are we someone who likes to be quite discreet and work behind the scenes, or are we someone who wants to grab the spotlight? That's also very ambitious 10th house type of energy. But of course, through its rulership, Capricorn can be in some ways a little bit shy, a little bit reserved. Saturn sets limitations, it can set boundaries, but it also manages time. So we can think about all these metaphors, these astrological and celestial metaphors, as we think about this particular influence. But if you are someone who's very perceptive around big business, the transformation of the stock market, we've obviously got a hardening up of interest rates going on. So if you're someone who's a speculator who thinks a lot about how to marshal resources, this can be a time when you can be very sharp and perceptive in the way you think about things. But also, this can be a time when we can almost get a feel for a situation at the speed of light, that Gemini type of influence. And remember, the Virgo influence, very discriminating. So, for example, if we attend an interview, do a presentation, apply for a job, the chances are we can work out what the politics of the situation is really quite quickly. However, one of the downsides of Mercury and Pluto in aspect is that because Mercury represents the spoken voice, but also ideas and belief systems through the third house and Gemini, it is possible that there is a danger of being rather overbearing, the power of Pluto in the way we put our points of view across. Now, I don't feel that the conjunction is as challenging as the opposition and the square. The opposition, people who have the opposition can be quite dogmatic. Of course, it would depend on the rest of their natal chart, how that particular influence plays out, or how exact it is, or what houses it's in. So for example, if someone's got Mercury opposite Pluto in the 3rd and the 9th houses, then the chances are they are going to want to express their opinion quite avidly. So it's important not to come across as someone who's got all the answers, who's got the only view that matters. And of course, we do live in a society which has very polarized views, and a lot of it is not down to the expression of facts and figures, it's down to the expression of opinions, and the people who are most persuasive or shout the loudest in terms of punching across their ideas tend to seem to get the highest profile. So we could see some energies play out in this way around those type of themes. But equally, we could encounter someone who's quite evangelical about their ideas. They actually identify with their beliefs in such a powerful way that they believe that they are delivering something of an intensely important nature. But in so doing, they want to dominate the other person who doesn't necessarily share their enthusiasm. So we may need to push back on the line manager, the boss, the client who feels that they can be more demanding towards us, and we will passively agree because somehow or another they hold the power. Pluto. The other thing, I'm just sharing with you the simple event chart. The big two aspects that I see with this is that the ascendant's in Leo and the descendant therefore is very close to Saturn, which ironically of course is the ruler of Capricorn, but Saturn's in a semi-sextile to Mercury and Pluto, which is very helpful. It's just the descendant is right close to Saturn, and therefore the ascendant is in a quincunx with Mercury and Pluto. So this is an overall solar chart taken at the vernal points, 0 degrees Aries as the first point. So this is how we can all relate to this event. So it just means the ascendant is in house 5, very much about creative ideas, passion, enthusiasm, warmth, but also individuality, needing to work with that more orthodox regular, well-established energy. So if you're someone with bright ideas and you're trying to persuade your bank to give you a loan for a new business, or get a business advisor enthused, or someone within your own company switched on to something that you are identifying with as being really very much on the ball in terms of trends, don't necessarily expect the response to be anything more than rather guarded. So that's important. And then in personal relationships, if one partner tends to be a bit more conservative and the other partner a little bit more open-minded about things, that also could cause a little bit of a rub too. But just to assure you that Mercury started its journey on the 6th of December, it went into retrograde on the 29th, it emerged on the 18th of January, and it's just come out of its shadow period. So I feel that as it aligns with Pluto, it is challenging Pluto a little bit and saying, well, look, you've had the upper hand in terms of pushing your agenda these last 15 years, but there may be other people who see things differently, and that's going to manifest itself very fast, because I'm moving into the sign of Aquarius on Saturday, a sign that I'm exalted in and that I govern the second decan of. So Mercury really likes being in Aquarius, but it is a brilliant position if you have it natally for the sign of Capricorn, because it probably gives you a really sharp appreciation of organisation and business. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure being with you. Please like, comment or subscribe. If you would like to discover more about serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of your personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can prepare for you your life roadmap report. This will help you to have a more intimate understanding of some of the patterns that play out in your life, more challenging ones, more positive ones, but also within my special package of 30% off, you can get your 12-month personal forecast. These are totally unique to each person that they're prepared for, and will give you searing insights to help guide your future moves.